Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crate Expectations. I'm here with Grumpy Sarah today. Sarah, how are you today?
Why am I grumpy?
You should tell me.
I feel like
Uh,
I've been like moderately pleasant.
Moderately is probably a good way to describe it. So,
Better than
no.
grumpy.
I feel the whole day today, every time we messaged about anything, I was like, man, she's like angry at me.
No, no.
Hmm.
I
Like,
feel like I was moderately pleasant today.
you were approaching pleasant.
To be honest, I feel like I was probably that way with everybody.
Hmm.
So,
That's. I was gonna say it's fair, but I don't know if it is fair that you're treating people like that. But we're good. So today we are talking about things
mhm.
and stuff. What kind of things and stuff are we talking about today, Sarah?
Okay, so we did get like not even an update. We got a post today. We got two posts actually. We got a December calendar and we got a kit reveal.
Yeah.
And that's it. But we're also going to do some speculating on what we think is going to happen throughout December. All that fun.
Yeah.
Other than, Christmas and eating lots of food and candy and chocolate.
That's like every month, right?
Yeah.
Besides Christmas.
Besides Christmas, just eating lots of food and candy and chocolate. Um,
That's on your December calendar.
and then, okay, so character review, which is an it's one of the territory battle rewards. I'll say that. You have a great trigger photo. So great.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why I'm grumpy Sarah today.
I mean yeah, you almost ripped my face off when we talked about that. So yeah. There was
Uh,
that. Yep.
there's that. And then a couple of viewer questions, pack review, roster roast, the usual shenanigans.
The huge. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So where do you want to start?
Let's talk about territory battles today. Because
Ooh.
it's coming up. It's soon. Like we're gonna get the new one, and
Mm-hmm.
presumably it's gonna be on the 12th. And we don't know where that specific rumor came from.
Right.
But like maybe it was me. Maybe I just like made it up, and some part of my brain is just like so tracking on top of things that it was just like pulled the 12th out of my mind. But I think I heard it from someone else that it was. But one way or another, I think it has to be though. I was thinking about this. I think it has to be the 12th.
It
If they're gonna do it this year,
it doesn't make sense for it to be the 26th.
right? Like because they'll be on vacation. Like
Exactly.
they'll just be out, and they can't do a major launch when everyone's gone. Like
No.
I was thinking, so they posted a thing or they said a thing. I don't remember now. It's all blurred in my head. But they said something about how they don't want to do a big release on Fridays ever.
Hmm.
Like basically any update on Fridays ever.
Hmm.
Unless the update is like a hot fix or something. But otherwise, they don't want to do it because they can't fix it on the weekend. Like they want that response time, and so if they're that finicky about Fridays, how finicky are they going to be about 2 weeks of vacation?
That's actually a really good point. Um, yeah, because like you're that finicky about just being away for 2 days. You're gone for 2 weeks. That's totally different. But also when you look at like the last territory battle that we got was Lightside Geo, which was released December 3rd, I believe. December 2nd or December 3rd of 2019. So before Christmas break, like the usual. Um, and I mean, it wasn't a exactly smooth release. There were some bugs in it that needed to be tweaked, which was why it was really important that they were still in the office working so that they could tweak it while it was live. Um, so
Right.
it's going to make sense in that regard for it to be on the 12th. Um, assuming that like they're sticking to their December schedule because they did say December.
All right. Well, and they did use language that, I mean, frankly, I would excuse them for not releasing it on December. Like if they said that they were like they were trying for December, and
Mhm.
if they decide not to do it because they don't want it to release a really bad product, then I mean, I can't fault them for that. I want them to
No,
release a good product, and if they need to delay a little bit, that's fine. Like it'll be disappointing on a lot of levels. Like that's, and my guess is that they have a ton of pressure because it's going to be a lot of money lost if they have to wait. Because if they wait, it won't just be 2 weeks. It'll be like a full month or more.
right, exactly, because they're not going to release it if it's not ready for the 12th and they have to delay. It's not like they can delay it to the 26th.
Right. It'll have to be somewhere in the new year,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, so my guess is that they have a lot of pressure on it,
Mhm.
and I think there's a lot of other schedule things that we can kind of extrapolate of what's going on. And
Mhm.
you and I did intersperse between bouts of grumpiness. We did explore a little bit of the forums and what they did on the light side territory battles,
Mhm.
and like for dark side territory battles and light side, like they both had carry involved, for instance, which was I thought was interesting. CG's
It
carry.
it was really, excuse me, sorry, really weird to go through the forums and like see all of these posts from like Carrie and stuff. And I was like, oh man, this was a while ago.
Yeah, I kind of miss her actually. I mean, I've kind of
Mhm.
missed her for a while. She actually talked about things that were actually interesting, things that I was like, oh man, okay, like talking about the business side of things a little bit, probably more than was supposed to, and that's probably why she got the axe, why they axed her to leave.
So
But
so terrible.
well, so many
Um,
people were like, good riddance, she was awful, and then like the same people a few months later were like, oh my gosh, I really miss Carrie.
mhm.
I remember a few different content creators were like, oh man, what have we done? And I'm like, yeah, you guys are idiots. I'm going to become a content creator myself now.
What have we done? Um, yeah, but it was yes, it was like she was posting, Top Hat was posting, CG Eric was posting, like all these different people.
Yeah.
And now it's clearly just Meathead and Crumb.
Yeah. Yeah. The vaguely food sounding names.
Right.
Yeah.
But so the key thing that I found today that when we were looking at them from light side and dark side and stuff was
Hmm.
um so light side was released December 3rd or 2nd, whatever that was, 2019. But they put a post on the forums that went over kind of like the platoon info, the mission info, like all the
Yep.
breakdown basically of the territory battle itself, which was on November 22nd, 2019. So it was 10 days beforehand, and it was a Friday that they
Right.
put that post out because that's not a fix going into the game. Like they can just give that information out, right?
Right. So that could be one of their like Friday quote unquote updates that they could do. Like not it's not an actual they're changing something in the game.
Right.
Hmm.
They're just giving us information.
Yeah.
So if they were to do it December 12th, this Friday is December 2nd, and that would be 10 days before, which would be roughly the same.
Yeah, like it was the dates of it working the way we're kind of thinking are it's kind of uncanny in a way. Like it's three it's almost exactly 3 years from when they last launched Lightside Territory Battle,
Hmm.
and it's like 3 years and 10 days, and
Right.
so yeah, but yeah, so we're all wanting more information about this, and if they follow how they did it last time, which we've been through a couple regime changes since then, and so it
Hmm.
really might not be anything, but if they do go through it the way they did it last time, we won't get any information about the specifics of the territory battle until this coming Friday, or is it the Friday? Yeah, it will be this coming Friday.
Right. Which, I mean, does, in my opinion, make sense to put it out from them before you do the title update. Because once the title update's in the Play Store and everything. Like that information's data mineable theoretically. Um,
Sure.
so I don't know, but I think it makes more sense for it to come from them versus data mining it. But maybe they just know it's going to get data mined and it's less work for them to do it. Who knows? Like you said, it's a whole new regime. So
All right. Well, they might be tweaking things last minute and stuff. And honestly, I'm fine with them if they want to be consistent the way they've done it in the past or whatever. If they need a little extra time, that's fine. I don't need to plan that much. Like they have given us, I feel like they've done an okay job of rolling out Datacrons. Sorry, Datacrons. They did a terrible job of, and that I was going to compare it to that. Of rolling out this territory battle in terms of like telling us, okay, guys, here's what we're doing. We're gonna do new territory battle in the kind of soon, and then the most recent road ahead gave us way more data than we had before. And like they're getting more and more specific, and so now we're all kind of working on the right squads, hopefully, and then hopefully, then they give us a much more detailed one, like later this week, and call it good, as opposed to like the way Datacrons were. And I talked about this on my podcast last night, but I mean, Datacrons were just like, hey guys, we're doing this new crazy game changing, really crazy meta altering thing, and here it is. Go play with it. There's one post.
yeah, it's live, by the way. Have fun.
It's live. Adapt. Go f yourselves. We're not going to talk to you for 2 weeks, at least. Yeah. Which I'm not saying that Datacrons would have been well received by the community for sure if they had rolled it out slowly, but I think it would have had a way better chance of people not just panic, like, like so angry, like that crazy response, because people could have time to mentally adjust, and I think yeah, it would still have a lot of the same issues and everything. Like, it's not like it would have just, like, magically been implemented better or something. But just having some warning is nice, you know?
Well, and that's the thing, which is why it's kind of funny, especially using that as the example, because like you said, it was just kind of like, here it is, it's live, figure it out. Which is how I felt, and I felt a little even more bombarded because when it launched, I was like, I'm on vacation. I don't want to have to be trying to figure out what the hell these things are um, when I'm distracted. So anyway, but it's been even like this Inquisitors, Java, like all of these releases, it Conquest, like it's all been a little bit of information at a time, like, hey, this is coming, and then a little bit later, okay, we told you about this, this is what we're thinking with it, subject to change, and then a little bit later, this is what it's going to be, right? Like, and we might tweak it, et cetera, like, and obviously Datacrons weren't that way. So this hasn't been pretty much that, because they told us it was coming, what to roughly expect. They gave us more info on the road ahead, and also more info of what to roughly expect. And
Yeah.
now we're just waiting.
Yeah. So I've liked their rollout so far. We need more information soon because we need GET3 information, especially like what characters and stuff. And but I think right now it's been fine. One thing I think was interesting in the last two territory battles is they've released a character, and I just kind of forgot about this. Like this is the kind of example of things of like we all collectively forget the cool stuff that CG has done, like the good updates and stuff. But like I was sure that the only character they've ever released straight to farm, other than like the GET2 and GET1 farms, was like Bodhi Rook. Way back in the day to the GW store, and that's actually false. They've done it 4 other times at least but I just like forgot about it. And it's the territory battle characters like Captain Han Solo, Stark, Geobrood Alpha, and then Arc Trooper. They were all just released straight to farm in Cantina. And I don't know that for sure that they'll do that this time, but I wouldn't be that surprised if they just tell us like this week or next week, like, hey guys, Saw Gerrera. is farmable in Cantina, and he's going to
Hmm.
be an important part. Especially give it like I'm going to talk about that. Probably by now I've already released a video on the new Sena kit, whatever. But like I almost think that Saw is going to be part of this
Hmm.
new territory battle, and it would make a lot of sense looking at Sana's kit and some of the characters that she's taking and all that stuff. Like Saw Gerrera could work as a character that's straight to farm.
Hmm. I would just like to say I did not forget that those characters were straight to farm.
You just
But
have to rub in your good memory. All right,
no,
thanks,
to
Sarah.
to be fair,
I thought the Canadians were
I
polite.
I'm grumpy. To be fair, I think of those characters, like those four, as also being uh territory battle characters.
Okay, I mean, well, I'm trying to like they still have a lot of use
Hmm.
to them. I mean, elsewhere, I guess Captain Han is kind of for the most part not usable, but
Right. I don't mean necessarily usable in territory battles. Sorry. I mean, I think of them as attached to territory battles because that's what they were released in accordance with.
uh,
So it just like sticks in my brain that way. Anyway, um, but you're right. Like they've done that four times now for the last four territory battles. So they should theoretically do it again this time. Um, my question though now, and I'm just thinking of this right now. So obviously we had Rollo for light side, Stark for dark side, etc. Right? Like Arc for light side, Geobird Alpha for dark side. Because this is the entire roster all at once, do you think we would only get one, or do you think we would get a light side and a dark side?
I don't know. I was thinking about this too. So I mean, it would make kind of sense to get two, in some ways, but in other ways, I wonder if they'll do something. So I mean, we don't know exactly how it's going to look, but they're going to have like the bonus nodes or whatever they're called,
Yep.
for like what I'm assuming are special missions and
Hmm.
stuff. And if they do that, then it would seem like maybe we would be able to we'd be able to get like all right, so we have right now, let's say the Reek mission, we unlock Kiadi to do it. And what if they just released a new bonus node in a year or something like that, and it had a new unlock character on it, or a new something that you could accomplish that was cool and awesome and good, and uh, you that's when they were like, oh, and you'll need this new character. That's we released a dark side character last time. Here's a light side or something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. That would be interesting. Those bonus missions, I think, are going to be pretty fun. I'm curious to see if they would stay there all the time or if that's what they switch out. Like, there's just so many things that I want them to tell us.
Well,
Um,
that's what I almost think that's what's going to happen with Riva. Actually, I think she's going to be on a bonus node, and they're going to swap it every other time eventually.
so it'll be her one week and somebody else the next week.
Right. Yep. I mean, in theory, I think that because that's how they do it right now.
Right.
With not that I need Watt, or it's probably a lot of people have 7-star Watt at this point, but Watt and Kiadi Mundi, that just to ensure that people don't get them too fast, kind of in some ways.
Or do you think that, and somebody pointed this out in the comments, and I can't remember who it was, but I thought it was a really good point. Do you think that instead of swapping it out, like say they leave her, she's probably going to be on the dark side path. You're going to use your inquisitors for it most likely. Um, do you think they would be like, okay, let's leave her there, and then in a year activate a bonus node on the light side path that has a character?
Right. I
So
mean,
and like you still leave her active, but you have another one over here.
so your guild could just choose basically,
Well, you would do,
or you could get 50-50, or you get both.
or you get both.
Oof.
And then that leaves the character there for guilds that haven't had access to the territory battle right away.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they want to do with characters, frankly, and releasing them, and like, Because some guilds are gonna get Riva real quick, like a couple months, you know?
Yeah, but like you're gonna get it twice as quickly. Doing it twice a month, man, like that's gonna speed up.
Right.
And I
In
do want to.
theory,
Sorry, go ahead.
you could get you could get 100 shards a month. Not that we'll get that immediately, but yeah,
Right, which is insane to think
it's like
about.
it's like a conquest character unlock speed.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. I wonder if that's why they're okay with it because of Conquest.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It would let them give us more panic farms, I guess.
Yeah.
Every three
Uh,
months, just swap them out.
I did want to point out though, because I know a lot of people skipped over this in the road ahead in particular, but they specifically say Inquisitors, Jabba, Afra, and Scythe will all be
Mm-hmm.
needed for special missions in the territory battle. So
Yeah,
they're all gonna have you're gonna have to use all four of those characters for something.
yeah, yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see what exactly they do, and I just want to see what incentives they give us too, to play this, like to get GT3 and to play this new one, because right now we just don't know. There has to be something, but if it's just like, hey, you can buy some of the gear that you're already buying, like there's nothing new. Like, why
Right.
not? Why not just do the easier stuff? Frankly,
Right.
like if
And
it's just
that's
like you get a little bit more, is
well,
all.
and that's why I think also it's we really need to see um, the reward path or whatever, or track, whatever you want to call it, for
Mhm.
each star that you're getting, so that we can compare to know that when it's the right time for your guild to make that jump over, right? Because them saying if your guild is getting close to max on dark side and 20-ish stars on light side, you should be able to swap over and do it. That doesn't necessarily mean the rewards are going to be worthwhile for you if you can't hit a similar reward in the stars, right? So that's going to be really important for people to look at too.
Right. I thought it was funny that was it the dark side territory battles that they said, or maybe light side. They said your guild can't even join until you're 80 million, and that's
Yeah.
not that's not me looking down on guilds that are 80 million. It's just funny because like I could just get like 7 friends and just join. You know, we could just make an 8-person guild and still join the territory battle. No.
I think that was dark side. And but like that just goes to tell you how long it's been since new territory battle content came out.
Oh yeah, it's been a while for sure. Accounts have gotten way bigger, and
Yeah.
we still can't max light side territory battle. Not for years still.
Yeah.
Real
It'll
dumb.
just it'll die unmaxed, sadly.
Yeah, annoyingly.
Um
Okay, so what do you think the schedule's going to look like
good.
now? Good.
No, I'm glad you this is exactly where I wanted to go, so I'm glad you did this. Okay, so
Good.
we got the kit for Asana today, which means we should get a content update Wednesday, which I guess is technically today when this releases. And then her marquee will happen tomorrow on Thursday, right? The first.
Sure.
So if we follow a similar thing for Star Killer, that means we should have Afra, her event happening next week. Because Star
Yeah.
Killers was 1 week after the last marquee character, after the marquee event. So
Right.
like just a week later. Um, so and then that would be timed. So her event would be timed with title update. That's also going to put territory battles in the game. So if you have her event on December 7th would be the title update, which is the Wednesday. So I would say her event would probably start on the Thursday, right? December 8th.
I think it could.
I'm just
Yeah. I mean,
speculating. And then you have her ready, like if Krakens want to Kraken and get her, they have her ready to roll for territory battles December 12th.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it follows the plotted course. Frankly, like I think, yeah, and it leaves the whale guilds, the kraken guilds, because it will be krakens. Like I don't even. Hondo, the first requirement isn't even farmable. I expect him to become farmable tomorrow or whenever the update comes out. Uh, but yeah, like none of the requirements are currently farmable for Afra, and so yeah, but if they give us, I think yeah, Afra's gonna come out the week before territory battles, then people can crack it out, and then we won't have the scythe ready, and even though it's a requirement, so in a
Hmm.
way, it'll feel a little bit like a practice round
Right.
for the first territory battle, where it's like none of the guilds can really make truly awesome plans because we won't be able to max out with the scythe at the very least.
I kind of I realize I'm probably in the minority with this. I do think they should have released like the timing better in terms of Grand Inquisitor and Scythe and like all this with
Right.
territory battles. I kind of also though think it sort of makes sense from a perspective of like here is this new territory battle that is quote unquote future proof and you can get these characters and whatever and do all these things in it and these are the rewards you get from it. Here are all the things that you need and it's kind of like I don't even want to say dangling a carrot because it's not dangling a carrot, but if you can actually see it and be like, damn it, I actually do need to get that now.
Sure.
Right. And it kind of creates that like pivoting in your farm, which CG loves. Like they want you to pivot and panic farm something else and not finish the
Sure.
project you were working on. Um, I think it kind of makes sense from that perspective of just being like, here's what you're missing out on because you don't have this.
Right.
So, and obviously, like, we won't know really what Scythe will do until somebody tries it. But I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll just look, we'll window shop the mission, I guess. Just look at it and be like, okay, that's where it goes.
Right. Oh, so we don't have a whole lot of time, but
Mhm.
if we have to plot it out, so
Right.
um, we'll, in theory, we will get. Tell me if I'm wrong here. Like this is just our theory craft, not necessarily the truth, right? So,
Theoretically.
this week we will get Sana released, of course, to the Marquee. I think that will be truth, and then we should also, in theory, get more information on the new territory battle on Friday ish,
Right.
hopefully.
In
Um,
theory.
and then next week we'll have Afra event and hopefully the title update for the new. I was gonna say light side, but just territory battle,
Hmm.
and then the week after will be the rollout of the new territory battle,
Hmm.
and then the week after that is that week gonna be the Grand Inquisitor? Or is it gonna be the one after?
Technically it would be that so that week Grand Inquisitor will drop on the 24th, which is a Saturday. So we won't really have anything
Right.
like the 19th, like the week while they're I guess that's their last few days in the office though, so they're not gonna really roll anything out new.
Cool.
And
Okay.
then yeah,
So that's that. Let's look at the trigger photo real quick, shall we?
we shall, I
Um,
suppose.
besides the BB, it's a sad BB-8.
Sad.
This is real, just normal stuff. But honestly, they did this just to trigger Sarah, trigger you because you spent so many
Oh
crystals
my God.
trying to get any Omicrons at all on during double drops, and you got how many?
I got zero.
Hmm.
I got zero Omicrons during double drops, and I spent 2,500 crystals on Cantina Energy alone.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's not a reliable thing to farm, but you have my slight condolences.
feels bad. If you know what, it feels twice as bad because it was double drops.
All right, guys, go to Sarah's channel, video description or little link that is hovering by our faces. We'll see you in a minute.